They feel, they fear, they hurt, yet their cries often fall on deaf ears. Animals, in their vulnerability, endure unimaginable suffering at the hands of humans. It's a silent epidemic of cruelty, hidden in plain sight, demanding our attention and action. We must open our hearts to their plight and become their voice. The very idea of hunting as sport is a chilling testament to human indifference. Picture this: a pack of dogs, bred for the chase, unleashed on a terrified fox, rabbit, or badger. The air fills with the sounds of pursuit, the frantic pounding of paws, the desperate gasps for air, the yelps of terror. The hunted, outmatched, and overwhelmed fights for its life only to meet a gruesome end. Where is the sport in such relentless cruelty, in turning fear and suffering into entertainment? The dogs themselves are victims in this barbaric tradition. Trained to kill, they're deprived of their natural instincts and often subjected to harsh treatment. The cycle of violence continues, leaving scars on both the hunted and the hunter. This isn't sport, it's a grotesque distortion of the natural order. Zoos, often touted as centers of conservation and education, can mask a darker reality, especially in parts of Asia. Behind the guise of entertainment, animals are confined to cramped, barren enclosures, stripped of their dignity and the freedom to roam. Imagine the crushing boredom of a bear pacing back and forth in its concrete prison. Visualize the despair in the eyes of an elephant, chained and broken, forced to perform tricks for a gawking crowd. Hear the mournful roar of a lion, its spirit crushed by captivity. Training methods often border on torture. Animals are beaten, starved, and deprived of sleep to break their spirits and force them into submission. These cruel practices inflict both physical and psychological wounds, leaving animals traumatized and broken. This isn't conservation. It's a cruel charade that perpetuates suffering. A higher calling, our sacred duty to animals. Our responsibility towards animals is deeply rooted in our faith. God, in His infinite wisdom, entrusted us with the care of His creation. The Bible reminds us that the righteous care for the needs of their animals. Yet how often do we turn a blind eye to their suffering, prioritizing our own needs over their welfare? Every creature, great and small, deserves our compassion and protection. We must remember that animals are not commodities to be exploited, but sentient beings capable of feeling pain, fear, and joy. Our treatment of them is a reflection of our own humanity. Breaking the silence, giving voice to the voiceless. Animals suffer in silence, unable to articulate their pain or fight for their rights. They rely on us, their human guardians, to be their voice, to speak out against injustice, and to demand better. We must expose the horrors of animal cruelty, challenge outdated traditions, and push for stronger laws and regulations. Education is key. We must teach our children about empathy, respect for all living creatures, and the importance of animal welfare. By fostering a generation that values compassion, we can create a world where animal cruelty is not tolerated but condemned. Our turn to act towards a kinder world. The time for complacency is over. Suffering is real and it demands our attention. We can no longer remain silent witnesses to the cruelty inflicted upon animals. Each one of us has a role to play in creating a kinder, more just world for all creatures. Support organizations fighting for animal rights. Lobby your elected officials to strengthen animal protection laws. Make conscious choices in your daily life, from the food you eat to the products you buy, to reject animal cruelty. Together, we can be the change we wish to see in the world. Let's turn our empathy into action and be the voice for the voiceless. Their lives depend on it.